when you defeat the final boss. Well, defeat the second to last final boss, I guess we should say. There's a little bit at the end where you basically have like a 6-minute cutscene and then a 3-minute auto-scroller, and then the game's actually done. So we're just gonna forego doing that and just end it on the second to last boss. It should save about 9. I think the actual timing is 9 minutes and 10 seconds of how much time that actually takes. So we're just not worry about that. But Hydrus and Oppai, going into it, going to the first little section here, just going through the subway. And we'll just have like a little sort of tutorial section, and then after that we'll go into the actual missions.
Yeah, so basically our main character just woke up in the subway after struggling with some amnesia, but she's kind of being guided by music or some music artist that's on the Inkling side. Both the runners opting for the female character this time. There seems to be a bit of a war between the Afro boy and the girls.
Yeah. I'm a fan of the Afro boy. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm on the girl side.
So yeah, little tutorial section. Basically, you just gotta get the key off the ledge over there, and just kind of.
There's also one small skip there where you basically jumped and threw the bomb at the grappling hook, saving you the time from climbing around. Now there's like a minute or two more of intro cutscenes, and then the run is in full force. So on Hydrus' screen right now, we get to see the main antagonist of this, a telephone box.
Doesn't seem like much of an antagonist, but it makes a lot more sense towards the end. So basically what he's saying is we're like the 10,000th and 8th octoling to go through this sort of gauntlet in order to get to the surface. And he basically gives us a rail pass and some money to go to all the different stations to do all the challenges that he wants us to do. And in order to finally get to the surface, we have to collect what are called fangs. So we have to. There are 4 of these things that we have to collect throughout the whole station. And once we collect all those, we can come back to the station and then go through the final sequence.
Yeah, so those 4 fangs will start to resemble a specific object that you will get to see soon enough. Depending on the routes they choose, for this game, you basically get a metro-style map, similar to kind of London Tube or any tube or subway station around the world. They're pretty similar for the most part, where you can basically choose go in any direction you want, and the speedrun is very open in this way, so most runners do slightly variations of the same route to get that stages they don't like or stages they have trouble with out of the way early.
Right. There's about, I think, I'd say like 3 different variations of the route. You can go, basically you can go left or right starting off. Some people like to go to the right starting off, do everything on the right side, then go to the left. Some people go to the left side first, do on the right. Some people have been opting to do another route, which we might see from one of the runners do, is go to the left for the first 2 levels, because the second level on the left is kind of notorious for being really tricky and can basically just kill runs just outright. So you go to the left, get that one done. If you mess it up, you restart the run. But if you do well, then you go to the right, because there's another level on the right that's very close that is also pretty easy to have to trick you up during your run.
Yeah, the right side has a majority of the harder speedrun stages, while the left side only has 2 stages that are really troublesome.
Yeah, I'd say that. I'd say 2 or 3. But here we go, finally into the actual first level of the run. Is basically there's these 3 octolings that spawn. We got to kill them to get to the next areas, and then go to the end. Pretty simple.
Hydrus using some well-placed splat bombs to kill them as they fall down, so he doesn't even have to shoot them. He can just move straight onto the next one.
Yep.
saving a little bit of time each time.
Oppai opting for about the same strat there. Oh, good quick kill from Hydrus.
Yeah, that last one can be quite tricky. Actually, it will immediately go up in an inkjet if you miss the first few shots, and then it can be quite troublesome and easy to die.
Having a little trouble with this one. All right, he got it. He got it.
Yeah, the Brella one can be quite annoying because it keeps putting your shield out and causing you time loss that you really can't do anything to deal with. Oh, this run doesn't really have any major RNG, just lots of small enemy RNG. And just like that, Oppai is struggling with the inkjet. Like, once she gets up into the air, she becomes way harder to kill. And she's really unpredictable with her flight.
Yeah, but finally Oppai getting her. Getting through this level. Not too bad, but yeah, unfortunately could have used with not dying there.
So now we're about to reach commentary night, where if they end up splitting paths.
Yeah.
Hydrus goes for full left route, I believe. I'm not sure what Oppai does.
Okay. So yeah, there's a good chance they could just go in completely opposite directions for the rest of the run, and we won't know how close they are really until the last escape sequence.
So the state Hydrus is in right now is
like
one
the
of
stage. It's so much fun.
It's a fun stage, and I really love how this expansion uses the specials from the multiplayer mode in a permanent one where you're in them constantly instead of just getting them for a couple of seconds at a time in the multiplayer.
Right.
And they make for some really interesting stages. This one has a few shortcut jumps where, as you can see, it will jump off to the side there.
So yeah, it's a little shortcut jump. Not too difficult to do, but if you mess it up, it's not a good time.
Yeah. Oh, he's getting the early left cycle.
That was really good.
Yeah, it's quite difficult to make it when that moving platform is on the left side. Most runners end up on the right side. I'm personally not able to get the left side at all.
Right.
So that's quite impressive from him.
Oppai's looking to opt for the same route. We'll see if he goes. We'll see how far they both go left side, whether they go all the way or switch after this level.
So here's a notoriously hard 8-ball level on Hydrus' side. The start of the level is pretty straightforward, but the final section is quite tricky to say the least. So just some simple movement with the 8-ball. It's quite wonky to control, but you get used to it pretty quickly.
Yeah. So yeah, so the objective is kind of obvious, but basically you gotta escort the 8-ball all the way to the end of the level and hope that it doesn't fall off, because if it falls off, it's just, you instantly just get blown up.
So, the casual route, you're intended to go to the left there and go through a little sequence. But in the speedrun, we opt to just push it right over the seesaw. Which can be quite awkward and require really good positioning.
Alright, he got it.
The angle's a little bit iffy, but he jumped slightly outside the seesaw to adjust it.
Yeah, so the angle that the 8-ball goes in is not dependent on where you hit it, like with your splatter shot. It's only dependent on your location with reference to the 8-ball. So
to the center of the 8-ball.
Yes. So that's why you saw Hydrus having to jump off the edge right there to get. He kind of.
That kind of saved it.
I would kill yourself right now, Oppai, because that's gonna take forever to come down. But damn,
nah, I think that's still faster than than respawning and pushing the ball, because of that.
I don't know.
Bridge.
That took a while. But yeah, that's one of those just really unfortunate little spots to get hooked up on.
So Hydrus right now popping into one of the multiplayer maps to basically complete the rank game.
And Oppai's ball dropped off.
Yeah, there's a good reason people get this stage out of the way early. There's so many points we can fail on.
Ooh, I think he got the checkpoint, so it's okay. So yeah, going back to Hydrus.
He got the checkpoint.
Going back to Hydrus, yeah, this is... So there's a few levels like this where you basically get the Rainmaker from the Rainmaker match mode online, and you have to escort it from one side of the map to the other. And it's pretty simple once you know the route. You just hit the Rainmaker about like 4 or 5 times, and you're good.
Hydrus getting a good lineup. Yeah, that was really well done by Hydrus getting that. That was first try on the seesaw, I believe.
Wait, you mean Oppai?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I think that was. So yeah, that's good for Oppai getting through that. Not too bad, but it still is probably going to be a little bit behind.
I wonder if he's going to go for the right side or not.
I don't know. We'll see.
I'm slightly hoping he's going to go left side just to make it easy on us.
Yeah. Let's see. Moment of truth. Oh, wait. Still had Marina to come talk to us. And okay,
and
so they're both,
yes, he goes left side.
So they're both going to go the same route for the whole entire run, which makes it a little easier for us to kind of see who's ahead. So yeah, Hydrus is definitely ahead at this point, going into one of the dually levels. These are really fun, and have a lot of interesting movement, especially because you can dash roll with the dualies. And as you'll probably see in a second, he's going to... Yeah, so you see Hydrus is going to be continually dashing with the dualies as he's going through the ink lines. It's not significantly faster, but it does say it's about, like, I'd say, what, 5 to 7 seconds, maybe, through the whole entire level compared to just not dashing at all.
Yeah, it's really nice that we have an option to speed up this basically auto-scroller stage. And it only speeds you up a slight amount each time, but that really adds up when the entire stage is like a minute of just pure ink rails. Oppai going to the Rainmaker stage, looks like he's going through it just fine.
It was a really good stage from Hydrus too. Really quick.
Oppai almost getting sniped out by that guy, but luckily getting past it.
Oh, good.
Also, one thing is, the conductor of this train has a really good name.
Yes.
His name is Sea Cucumber. Like C, the letter C, Q, and then Cumber.
Yep. It's pretty great.
I love the developers and localization team for making so many puns in this game.
Oh yeah, Mr. Nogami and all the guys over there at Nintendo of America and all of them did such a good job with this stuff.
Also, Hydrus opting to play to have Spanish text instead of English because it's about 2 seconds faster, I believe. Yes,
well, that's for the American version, yeah. Because that's one of the more unfortunate things with Splatoon is because, and I think this is because of the way they have Splatfests set up, is they actually had to region lock the game to the ANA region, the European region, and the Japanese and all that in Asian region. So unfortunately, I think Japanese is the fastest version of all the languages, but unfortunately, Americans and Europeans can't really have access to that one. So
I might actually change that today. So I went out of my way to time the Italian text and the PAL Spanish. PAL Spanish seemed to be slightly faster than American Spanish.
Huh.
But I'm not 100% sure because it might just be up to matching differences. But Italian text was definitely 1 second faster than American Spanish, which almost ties it to Japanese.
Wow. That would be cool. So yeah, actually the level that Hydrus is doing right now, I think one of my favorites because it uses a lot of these little, I forgot exactly what they're called, but we just call them
ink furlers?
Yeah, I think we just call them fruit roll-ups.
Yeah.
But yeah, these are a lot of fun, especially like this part where it just destroys all 4 of those Octo Troopers.
Yeah, this is one really satisfying stage to do fast.
Oh yeah.
This stage is really non-stop from start to finish.
You get it? Yeah, Hydrus.
Also doing a shortcut there to skip a few of the fruit roll-ups. Usually you go like left and right, back and forth from the sniper's side, but you can just jump down and skip half of it.
Yep.
Oppai now going into the Target Buster Station, I believe it's called, which is quite a tricky one because if you pop a single one of those red balloons, the stage is over, you die, and you need to restart.
Yep.
And also Hydrus is about to collect the first Fang.
Yeah.
That's a really weird thing to pronounce.
Yeah. I mean, the game's like lingo and all that is sort of based on like 80s and 90s pop culture stuff, so like kind of makes sense, but it's also just a little weird to hear. So yeah, Hydrus getting the first one. He's got 3 more to grab. There's 1 more on this side of the map, and then he has to go to the other side to grab 2 more.
I'm really struggling to stop myself from singing around to the jingles at the end of every stage. I do that every single run I do.
Oh yeah.
The soundtrack for Splatoon is god tier.
Yeah,
one of my favorite soundtracks in video game.
It's very it's weird because it's extremely appropriate to the game and it sounds really good in the game, but it's like something I wouldn't listen to just like in the car.
I listen to this in the car.
Really? I
Yeah.
I don't know. I really wouldn't listen to it like just like casually, but like in the game, yeah, it sounds awesome and it's great and I love it.
I don't listen to the actual soundtrack, but I do listen to Off the Hook and the Squid Sisters
Okay.
in the car occasionally.
I can see that.
There's one exception though, Marching Stage. From
Which one
the
is-
car watch stage.
Yeah.
That song is just so good. Like, this game probably has one of the weirdest soundtracks I know of.
Mm-hmm.
And this stage Hydrus is on right now, it's pretty
Oh no,
straightforward.
Oppai! He tried to get fancy and he jumped off the ledge and tried to hit the ink furler before it opened up.
Oh,
There you go.
He's going risky.
All
Yeah,
right,
the
he's good.
stage Hydrus in right now, you basically just ride the rails and bust some targets on the way. Pretty straightforward. Not really much that can go wrong there unless you misjudge one of those. That
Yeah. Like a couple of
What
those
are
you
they
gotta
called?
jump over. I'm not sure. They're not... I don't know. Honestly, I don't know.
Yeah,
I wish-
but if you touch a single one of them, you just get completely knocked off, no way to recover, and you
Yeah.
need to restart the entire stage. So
Yeah, there's
most
no
runners
checkpoints
do
at all.
that one. Yeah, they do that stage really safely.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's really no way to really like go faster. Just gotta stay on the incline, really.
Well, you can jump without getting the side flip effect by jumping before the rail actually arrives,
That's true.
which saves like maybe a second each time if you do it optimally. So, Hydrus going into the stage I personally have the most trouble with.
Mm.
It's a stage where you can't take any damage at all. It's a tiny bit lenient where it lets you scrape the enemy ink for like half a second, but any more than that and you just get instantly blown up.
Right. So yeah, that's like you said, the gimmick is you cannot get hit, you cannot touch any of the enemy ink that's on the ground, or it will just go up. So it gets a little tricky, especially in the very last section, because you're trying to go fast, and when you try to go fast in something in a level like this, just bad things can happen.
Yeah, but this stage is really satisfying to do fast as well.
That's true. Yeah.
So yeah, lots of enemies just shooting straight at you, and you have to dodge left and right to get around them.
Alright, there you go. Hydrus grabs a key. And this is the last little section that can be really tricky.
Yeah, the first part getting to the sniper is fine, but the backside of it is really sketchy. Especially if you fail once, you get on an off cycle that you're not used to. One really common trait of Octo expansion is that everything is on a cycle. There isn't that much RNG. There's just
Oh shoot!
Oh.
He got hit. He got hit
getting
right at the last
sniped
second.
out by the he got sniped
Yeah.
out by the enemy.
That's one of those guys that is really hard to take care of because he has a shield in front of him, so there's really no easy way to kill him. So you just kind of have to hope he just misses you.
Yeah. That's why we usually throw the bomb ahead first and hope that he focuses on the bomb instead.
Right.
And then just quickly swim up the wall as Hydrus just did.
Now this is the last really bad section, because you have a bunch of enemies in front of you, and then you have that guy who likes to really hit you, like he just did with Hydrus.
Also, that return section at the end there gets way harder if you die once, because then you lose all the ink you placed there earlier in the section.
Let's see. I think he'll be good. Yeah, he's got it.
Yeah, getting a clean escape there.
Alright. Not too bad. Only 2 deaths, but still losing a little bit of time there. Luckily for Hydrus, he's still fairly well ahead.
Yeah, Oppai also getting through the ink rail stage quite fine. Let's see how he does on the don't take damage station. This is a good chance for him to catch up some time as well.
Yeah.
So the stage Hydrus is going into right now, you basically just get stuck in a cannon and you have to protect this orb in the middle. Pretty straightforward, and you can just pre-aim on everything because you just get used to where everything spawns.
Right. Yeah, this is one of the more fun stages to do because it's completely timed, and you can even just like stop playing with like 5 seconds left if you haven't taken any damage, and you'll still win just because. Because it doesn't matter like how many of the blimps are on the map. It just matters how long you last until the timer runs out. And when the timer runs out, it's just over.
Yeah, this is one of those stages that you never really have to practice.
Yeah. There are a couple like that in the run, which make it kind of nice. Where it's like, all right, you got through the don't take any damage level, and now you have a level like this where it's like, all right, I can just kind of chill.
Yeah, you get some time to cool down after a really tough stage. Oppai getting through the stage quite fine so far. Hasn't taken any stray hits yet.
Ooh, oh, yeah. So you kind of saw there. He kind of clipped a little bit of the ink that was on the ground, but it was just short enough to where he really didn't take enough for it to say, hey, you touched ink and now you die. So,
this stage would be brutal if it didn't have any leniency.
Yeah.
Especially as we opt for the charger instead of the recommended Brella with the shield.
Oh yeah. So yeah, Hydra's getting the second Fang. So now he's only got 2 more to grab.
If you paid attention to the first Fang, you might be able to start. You might be able to make out what we're making right now.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Oppai did end up touching a little bit too much of the ink.
Oppai doing a sketchy jump there.
A little
Getting
bit,
surrounded by bullets.
Is he good? Yeah, alright. He got past that guy. Now he has the last section to go through.
Oppai looks like he's opting to kill everything, which is the safe way.
Oh, and he still gets hit though. Oh, dang.
Yeah, one of the enemies was hiding one of the bullets.
Yeah.
So now Hydrus is gonna go... No, wait, does it still have a bit more on the left side? I can't remember.
No, he grabbed the 2 things, so he just has to go to the right.
Okay, yeah.
So now he's going to the right side.
So this is a pretty straightforward trampoline stage.
Right.
Where you have a blaster. It's kind of like a grenade launcher-esque, where you shoot a projectile and that explodes after like a second.
Right. Oh, and Hydrus was a little bit too fast there, I think. If he had to you have to kind of wait out that last column just to make sure it doesn't hit you.
Again, this is a really cycles-heavy stage, so if anything goes out of the ordinary, you might be on a blind cycle where you just have to react to what's going on.
Yeah.
Hydrus opting for the one-shot strat on the propeller there.
That's usually all you need. If you're quick enough, you only really need to hit one shot.
Yeah, when you shoot that propeller, the closer you are to hitting the center of it, the further it will go towards you. So you need a dead-on shot and being quick of exiting the cannon.
Okay, Hydrus is safe, but he'll lose a little time just because he lost his armor, so now he's moving a little slower.
Yeah, the tiny mechanic is when you have sort of two health bars. One of them is armor and one of them is your actual health. When you lose your armor, it will start to regen, but you will move at like half speed or something like that.
I'm not a big fan of that. I kind of wish they would just like kill you, but I think in response to that, especially in the single player, they made a lot of enemies just like randomly be able to one-shot you. Like the missiles never used to be able to one-shot you in Splatoon 1. Those Octo Troopers that shoot like 2 bouncing balls at you, those will just kill you almost instantly, which is really annoying in the hero mode speed.
What's Hydrus doing right now? I've never seen that before.
It's a little trick that he actually found. I don't think it's actually faster really because you get to the platform at the same exact time, but or it might be like half a second faster. But
it might give you a bit more time to line up on it.
Maybe. But yeah, that's a trick. I think he actually found that one. You can just hop across that first little bit. Alternatively, you can go the normal path to the right side and then hop on that moving platform with the Octotrooper on it. But we did see Hydrus do the skip where you jump across the ledge while continually mashing the jetpack button, and you're just high enough to reach that last little checkpoint, and then you just fall off and to just do it a death warp basically. And now Oppai getting his second thing, so he'll only have 2 left to go. He'll be heading to the right side after this.
Hydrus getting into the second 8-volt stage now. This one is a lot more straightforward, but still has a tricky end section.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that first one, I think I would definitely say is more of the trickier one than this one.
And this one you just need a decent grasp of how to push the ball efficiently, and you'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Normally the tricky part is this slope here with the bouncy pad at the end. Because if you miss it slightly, it will just get pushed straight off into the void there. And these enemies can be tricky at times, but I think Hydrus will handle it just fine.
Yeah. So far, so good.
Now comes the tricky part though, because the ball will be launched ahead of you into a section with bouncy pads on every single wall.
Yeah.
And enemies that love pushing it into it.
And, yep, I got hit. So yeah, ideally what you want to have happen is, to be able to inch the ball closer and closer to the end of this little hallway while killing all the enemies. And hope that it doesn't hit the bouncy pads, but unfortunately...
Hitting the bouncy pads is technically faster, but it's so hard to control. It's not worth trying.
As you can see, Hydrus having a little time getting this this ball through here. There we go. Okay. Took a little while, but
pretty quickly. Looks like Oppai had an unfortunate death on the bouncy platform stage. Not sure what to call this one.
Yeah, I forgot what it's called, but yeah, I just usually call it the bouncy platform one.
Yeah, I'm pretty new to this game in terms of running it, so I'm still not familiar with the stages and their names.
Yeah, even myself. Oh, okay.
Oh, this is sketchy now.
Stay safe, Oppai. He has to make sure he doesn't get hit at all anymore. Yeah. His shield should regenerate in a second.
Yeah, he got rid just fine. And it was an unfortunate cycle for that last end. Sometimes you have to wait for it.
Yeah.
Hydrus is an interesting stage right now, because this stage you don't regenerate ink when you swim like you usually do.
Yeah.
You have a limited ink tank to get to the end of the stage.
And it's like not even like a full ink tank, it's like maybe a third of an ink tank. So you have to really manage your ink well enough to get to the end, while going fast. So that's kind of the most tricky part for that one.
When I did a stage casually, I didn't realize there was a balloon you could one-shot at the top to pop the data point.
Oh, so you just tried to... Oh, no.
Yeah, so I had to make sure I had enough ink to actually pop the entire data point with my gun. which takes a lot more than one shot.
Yeah. See, as you can see here, Oppai's going to the this sort of normal route that Hydrus opted to go a little more fancier with.
Hydrus also popping into a really quick stage where you have a bunch of targets going on a cycle in the circles. This is one of those stages where if you blink and it's over.
Yeah. It takes a lot of practice to really get down properly because the cycle is so precise to a T that you even have to be quick with selecting your weapon, because if you're not quick with doing that, this cycle's already off.
Yeah, like a good time is like 41 seconds remaining on the clock, maybe?
That would be a really, really good time.
Yeah, I usually get like 30 to 35, because I'm awful at the stage.
Yeah, a good time I'd say is somewhere between like 39 and 41. And that's obviously like extremely optimal.
Oh, this stage. So I wonder if Hydrus will go for the ink brush or the octobrush. He's going for the safe octobrush as he's used to. We learned today that the ink brush is actually faster for the RTA by a couple of seconds.
Huh.
Yeah, Hydrus was testing it on stream earlier today, but he couldn't get it fast enough to be worth going over the octobrush right now.
What's the downside to using it?
Oh
no, Oppai.
You need to be really good at spamming the ink brush fast. You need to do really tight corners to save ink.
I got you.
Because with the ink brush, you can skip the ink tank in the 180-degree turn, which is what saves time with it.
Okay. And Oppai having a bit of trouble getting that 8-ball onto that sponge. That's his second death. I really hope he doesn't die on this one.
So one thing you kind of glossed over is every stage has a prize to enter, and you get a prize for finishing it.
Oh no!
Oh, that's unfortunate.
He's gotten a bad angle on every single one of those shots.
He hasn't really had a bad angle himself, it's just the enemy pushing it off the angle.
Yeah.
So Hydrus going into an auto-scroller stage for us speedrunners that is a bane of existence for every casual I've seen so far.
Yeah, in the Discords, this has kind of been one of those levels. Do this that's like one of the ones that everyone asks. Oh goodness, Oppai.
This is scary to watch.
Okay, I think he's good. I think he's good now.
Yeah. So this stage that Hydrus is on, you have an orb in the middle that you have to protect from a bunch of enemies spawning in. For us, they're just spawning on a set cycle, and we just camp their spawn because we've memorized their positions, but when you're a casual, you have no clue where they're coming from, what weapons they use, and how to prepare for them. It's just a full moment of panic from start to finish.
Yeah. But yeah, this is a pretty easy route to go through. So you have all those Octolings in the back wall. They'll spawn right in front of you. You can just like pick them off one by one. And then you have one that'll spawn on that platform right there at 45 seconds.
Yeah.
Basically, just throw a splat bomb, or Hydrus just opts to just hit him in the face.
Yeah, he's going for the curling bomb, which might save him like a second entering the stage. At the cost of making the stage harder, because you can't set up with the bombs as easily.
That's true.
But see, that's a worthwhile trade.
Yeah.
Because usually at the start of the stage, you just have to walk with a splat bomb in your inventory just to get the gun.
Right.
Ooh.
Should be one more left.
And... by getting a good 8-ball location where it just stands straight in the middle and doesn't touch the bouncy pads.
Just hopefully not one more hits it. He should be good.
Oh, yeah, that was really good.
So yeah, a little silver lining in that somewhat unfortunate level that he had.
So what can also be quite a wall for new players of this run is if you run out of cash in the game, you might not have enough cash to actually go into the stage you want. So if you're really unlucky on one of those expensive late stages, you might be stuck going back to farm points.
But I think you can actually get a sort of a loan from Marina and Pearl to they just give you money whenever you run out.
That's only if you go fully broke though, but if you have like if you don't have enough to enter any stage at all.
And I unfortunately fell through the grate.
Oh, yeah, this stage is quite tricky.
Yeah. Basically, the floor is just boxes, and those boxes can be destroyed. And if you're standing on a box and it gets destroyed and you fall through, you die.
We also use this against the enemies, though, because they're standing on weak boxes, so we just shoot the box under them and they fall to their deaths.
Yep. Alright, nope. Hydrus gets through that one. And Oppai gets through the one he was on.
Oh, Hydrus opting to go down right instead of top right first. He's saving the hardest stages for last, it seems. So here's another ink rail stage where you're gonna see a lot of dodge rolling on the rails.
Yeah, so like the one we did earlier. Especially this one because it's just a bunch of really long, narrow lines. Not much else to do except do that.
There's one tiny skip at the end though that saves 10 seconds, I believe.
Yes. It's really tricky to do because there's not a very obvious window for it.
I found the window to work best where if you just try to jump when you see right before it starts curving down.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. So let's see if Hydrus gets it here.
I usually have my camera turned 90 degrees to see the curve better.
Yeah. I don't know, I still haven't found my good setup. But yeah, Hydrus got it, no problem. Saves about 10 to 12 seconds.
Which brush is Oppai gonna go for? Okay, he goes for the Octo brush as well. So Hydrus getting the third Fang now. Only one more until the final sequence. Oppai is breezing through the target buster stage again. 3 seconds on the clock left. That's good. That's a good leeway.
Not bad.
So Hydrus is about to enter one interesting stage for the casuals. That we do in a really hard way to learn. But it's also really fast.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like Match Master Station is the stage where you can show off your skill the best in this run.
Yeah, so this is definitely one of the more, I'd say, intimidating levels to do, especially in the speedrun, especially with the fastest strats, because So we'll kind of show it here, but basically you have these two sculptures, and the goal is to make the one on the right look like the one on the left, and the way you do that is you are supposed to break all the strong orange colored boxes and leave only the normal looking boxes. But if you break even one of the normal boxes, you have to restart the entire level. And
as you notice, Hydrus has an area of effect explosive weapon. Which might not sound optimal, but it lets you break so many boxes at once with well-placed shots.
Yeah, so there's two weapons that people have been using. One is the squeezer, which is a very accurate single fire. One little speck of ink will come out, or you could use the rapid blaster, which Hydrus is using here, which can destroy a lot of boxes with just one shot. And it's really intimidating because it makes you think like, oh shoot, am I just gonna blow up all the boxes that are by me?
Yeah, it took me about an hour to learn this stage with the blaster. I was a bit masochistic, so I went to learn the blaster straight away.
Yeah, I took a little while, but I finally got it down.
Yeah, I did a run just earlier and I lost like 3 minutes to this stage. And my gold is still terrible for the stage, so probably 4 or 5 minutes total loss.
right, that should be the last one. Yeah, Hydra's doing that really, really well too. Fast.
Yeah, not missing any boxes either. It's so easy to just leave one around there on accident.
Yeah, because sometimes you get your explosion doesn't fully blow up one that you like just don't notice, and then you have to go find it, and it's kind of annoying. But no problems for Hydrus. He blew them all up and is done.
Oppai going into the match mod situation, he's doing a slightly different route here at the end.
Yeah,
he's opting for the single shot weapon.
So it'll probably be a little bit slower. Actually, well, it definitely will. I think optimal Rapid Blaster strats with this is I think about 30 seconds faster than using the squeezer. So he'll unfortunately be losing some time to Hydrus on this one.
Yeah, you can still make back the time though. Escape can be quite brutal if you're unlucky.
That's true. But oh man,
he's going really fast with it.
I was surprised. He was just going to town with the trigger on this one.
Yeah, so with the what's the weapon called again?
Squeezer.
Squeezer. So if you hold the fire rate, it will lose a lot of range, but it will shoot faster and wider. So it still has some use, but it also uses way more ink to clear way less boxes.
Yeah.
So Hydrus doing one of the original bosses from the single player. That's a refight here, but with the special gimmick where he's on the inkjet instead of having a sniper rifle.
I'm actually really impressed of how well Oppai's doing with the squeezer on this level.
Yeah, I almost forgot to even mention the boss fight there. That's one of the hype stages.
Yeah. So yeah, it's the level Hydrus is doing. Yeah, like Isaiah said, it's one of the bosses from the original Splatoon 2 single player. But normally you would have a sniper to hit all those little guys, octocoppers on top of his head, but now you have to hit him with a jetpack. Which initially makes it a little more difficult, but we've actually figured out strats and setups to make it a lot easier to do. So
yeah, so this boss fight flies by. Oh. Yeah, Hydrus getting both the one cycles by sniping two at once and then following it as the boss retreats back.
Yeah.
And then doing the final snipe when he flies towards you again. Also with the inkjet, you have a slow-moving projectile where you have to pre-aim a lot, which makes the boss's RNG in which direction it flies in a bit more noticeable. Where you have to react to it.
Let's see, Oppai should be about done with this level in about 3 more boxes. Alright.
And he didn't miss any. And he didn't go for the safety checkpoint either. So there is a checkpoint in the stage where there's a key hidden in one of the boxes, and if you get it, you can save your progress. But it's quite handy if you're nervous about the stage or new to the run.
Yeah, not a bad safety strat, but definitely a lot slower.
So Hydrus getting the 4th Fang now.
So yeah, he'll be heading to the escape sequence after this one. But yeah, overall, pretty good runs from Hydrus so far. Only a couple levels where he's had a few mishaps happen.
Yeah, he's been playing pretty clean so far.
And I think Oppai is actually on PB pace because I think he has his split set to where if he's behind, they go to red. So I think he might be actually ahead at this point, which is fantastic for him if he's on PB pace. So yeah, the 4 things on Hydrus' screen are coming together to make one, well, kind of obvious looking device.
Yeah, it's obviously an elevator.
Of course.
Like, no blender would open like that ever, so
no, of course
it
not.
must be an elevator.
Exactly.
Also, Hydrus sliding into my DMs informing me that was the fastest inkjet stage in a run ever done.
Wow. That looked pretty clean too. That's impressive.
Yeah, it was by 0.4 seconds. But it's the best gold split someone has for the stage. Someone has probably done slightly faster in practice. Just because practice is always faster.
Right.
Oh, Oppai losing his armor. That can be quite scary on this one.
Should be okay right now. Hopefully he gets it back in a second. Alright.
Yeah, there's his armor back.
And this is kind of where, if you don't get the fast strats... Oh, he was on top of him for a second.
Yeah.
Oh no. Lost his armor again.
This is a really hard stage if you fall out of your cycle.
Especially when you're being chased by those missiles. Those are just gonna be way too fast for you when you don't have armor.
Yeah, I usually just pop those missiles for safety if I see them coming for me and I'm not on a good cycle.
Yeah.
Ooh, sniping him out early. Yeah, getting the final snipe in there. That was a pretty rough phase 2, but phase 3 will probably go better.
Yeah, hopefully. So now Hydrus heading into the first phase of the escape sequence. There'll be this one and then 6 more phases after this. And then, like we said earlier, normally there would be a section after the escape sequence, but just for the interest of the race and all that, we're just gonna not worry about all that for the timing.
Hydrus might opt to play through for us, just because it's quite a fun experience for the viewers, even if it's not as much for the runners at this point.
Yeah, if Oppai is still doing his run, he'll probably still play it. So yeah, this first sequence is basically you don't have any weapons at all, so you have to sneak your way through, at least until that section, and you can kind of just like go whatever, because there's really not much of a chance of them to kill you, unless they do that.
Popping his armor though, he's still gonna make the cycle, just barely.
So yeah, you have to wait here anyway, so it's not that big a deal. Sneaks past those guys, no problem. And Oppai also getting past that boss. So he'll be grabbing his 3rd Fang. Then he'll have to go down to do 2 more levels, and then he'll grab the 4th one.
So in a lot of these parts, we opt to just get seen, because then we can just run full ham and not worry about the actual stealth part. Because a lot of these don't actually pose much of a threat to us if you know how to dodge them.
Yeah. Yeah, just doing a little bit of a trick here. Just jump off so you can skip going from the bottom platform right there. You just go straight to the second one.
I'm just making a fast cycle there.
Good, didn't get seen by that guy.
Yeah, I'm just making a clean fast cycle for this one.
Very good.
So this is where the music really starts taking off if you listen well in on it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, these are some bangers right here.
I'm so close to singing along, but the way I sing along to it ruins it for everyone else. The Spanish text box is 2 seconds faster than English. Italian appears to be 1 second faster than that again, and Japanese is the fastest. But this game is kind of region locked with the text styles. So American users only get American Italian.
Is there American Italian?
No, American Spanish, I mean.
Yeah.
And then European gets a different Spanish, which is slightly faster, but I might be wrong on that. I haven't tested it properly yet. So in this escape sequence, you spawn in with no weapon and no bombs either. So we have to run around and collect them. There is also a terrible skip you can do to skip the weapon.
Yeah. So there's a skip that was found about a couple months ago. It's called Octoshot skip because basically what you're supposed to do is you get the bomb like I just did, and then you go this section, which Hydrus is doing, to get the Octoshot. There is a way. Well, then you go to the Octoshot. Then you go to there's a door that you have to use to open up to use the Octoshot to open it up. You hit the switch and open it up and go through. But there's a way to use the splat bomb to make it explode to where like the shrapnel of the ink will randomly be able to hit the switch and open the door. It's extremely random. It's extremely annoying, and for the purposes of the tournament, we did not allow people to do that, just for entertainment purposes and whatnot.
The skip is so bad that even with a good setup, it can take you 100 tries and never get it.
Yeah. We've been able to kind of get some setups to where it's consistent to within 10 tries, but even then, it's just bad. No one likes it, but it's faster, so people do it.
It's one of the most regrettable skips I know of in speedrunning.
Yeah, I really wanted to when we all first saw someone do it, we were like, oh no, that's gonna be in the speed run. Why? It was unfortunate.
If this run had a faster way to reset and didn't have Octoshot skip, this run would be amazing.
Oh yeah, it's those two things that ruin it. And especially because Octoshot it's like literally at the end of the run.
Yeah, it's so 50 minutes into a world record run.
Yeah. But
so Hydrus doing a platforming section here. As a lot of this run is, this stage is really cycle heavy, and you want to go really fast in the start to make a cycle at the end. Where if he doesn't make the cycle, he will probably have to suicide to get the cycles back in place.
Right.
Which also costs a lot of time here, because then Marina and Pearl, some of the characters that have been talking to you throughout the run, will lament your death. Costing you even more time and spreading salt into the wound, for us at least.
Yeah, but luckily the cycles for this level are pretty lenient, so you don't have to go like super fast in order to make them.
Yeah, but like any small mistake can cost it if you're careless.
That's right. We saw Oppai getting his fourth thing also, so we go into sequence in a second. So, unless Hydrus has some catastrophic failures here, I think he'll probably be fairly well ahead.
Yeah, phase 6 can go wrong really quickly though.
That is very true. It ain't over until Agent 3 is dead. As Tones Ballones was chanting in his world record run, it's not over until Agent 3. It's not over until Agent 3. Like he was like every time he would have a rest, like a time to rest, that's like all he would say. Because he got like a second try Octoshot skip, he was 30 seconds ahead of world record, and he was just going insane.
Yeah, I can't imagine how nervous he would have been after that.
Oh yeah. I mean, he's the guy he's held world records before in Splatoon, Splatoon 1, and other categories and other games. It's like it's not like he's not used to it, but even so, like anytime you have that opportunity, it's nerve-wracking.
Like, I'll just pull an example from a friend of mine, Torjay. He has a heart rate monitor on his stream.
Oh yeah.
So when he's on good pace and going into collapse, you will see his heart rate reach close to 200, 210.
Yeah.
So doing a really hard skip with that heart rate, that is so rough.
Oh yeah, I can't imagine that. And like, he does 80% for not Octo expansion, Ocarina of Time, right too?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's some crazy tricks that he has to pull off of that.
I realized just how big pressure, how much heart rate pressure adds to you. When I did my first race in the tournament and I got into Matchmaster in my second run ever with the blaster, my heart rate instantly went to what felt like 200. And I missed so many boxes that stage. Oppai coming out in chat saying he's not happy with the run.
No, it can be rough.
Yeah. So Hydrus is going into this the part of the skate sequence to get an inkjet, and you have to fly around and pop these data points. Due to the order we do them in, if you fall down on accident once, you basically just get set back straight to the beginning. So a small mistake will cost a lot of time here.
Yeah.
And the further into the stage you are, the more you will lose. Because you basically have to run through the entire stage again. Hydrus is opting for jumping out the ink rail, shooting it, and then dashing into it, which is quite strict on the timing.
Yeah.
Oppai going into the stealth section now, going fine so far. He's opting to just get seen there and YOLO jump through it, which goes out perfectly fine. Hydrus losing his armor there, which can be quite scary. Luckily, getting the data points refills your armor, which makes it way easier to get out again. Also doing a smart thing there, where he pops the wall point and then boosts up with the jump and shoots the wall and climbs on it to prevent falling down.
Yeah, it's a pretty tricky skip, but it's definitely worth it.
Hydrus barely making the cycle there as well.
Yeah, so yeah, that's the cycle that is really dependent on this level, because you want to be able to get that last, or that second to last data point before it goes under the cylinder, and you really can't get it until it goes all the way back around. Hydrus was able to make it in time, so no problem.
Also, music just getting better and better for each part of the escape sequence.
Oh yeah. So yeah, now the section that Hydrus is going into will be the really tricky section. So basically, it's sort of an escort mission where you're on this platform and it's going through. You have a zap fish that you have to protect as it goes through this little gauntlet basically, and it can be really tricky at times because you have missiles and splat bombs and a bunch of other stuff just being thrown at you.
Oppai getting a host right now from Sigurd. So this section can be quite scary, as when you focus so much on tap shooting it in the speedrun that you basically ignore all the enemies to make a good cycle. And if they land a few too many straight shots on you, you might just die or miss a few shots due to pressure.
So yeah, Hydrus using the strat where he grabs that last little ink refill after using the splat bomb. Try to stay safe and have enough ink to get that last octocopter.
Yeah, as a lot of this run, here are more cycles you want to make right here. Right now, you have to stop to let that bowling ball not hit the orb, or what's that thing called again?
The zapfish.
Yeah, sapfish. So Hydrus is now done with that part, and he just has to do the Agent 3 boss fight.
Yep. So very, very close to being done. But like we said earlier, and it ain't over until Agent 3. But luckily this Agent 3 is not too bad. Now, I mean, if this was all missions and you had to do the inner Agent 3, that's a lot more of an issue. Because that guy's pretty tough. And Oppai making his way through the second escape sequence.
So now just one ink rail and then a small cutscene introducing the boss is gonna fight, and then it's just gonna kill it in its time. Oppai going into the platforming gauntlet. So let's see how he does in the meantime. I think Oppai was under quite a bit of pressure as well going into this run, considering Hydrus is the 4th on the leaderboard, I believe.
Yes, he is. No, I believe he's 3rd. Yes, he's 3rd.
Yeah, right. His new PP hasn't showed up yet.
Yes. Well, now it has. He has a 1 hour and 10 minutes and 43 seconds.
Also, with this boss fight, you get the chance to ink the arena before the boss spawns in, which stays after cutscene. But if you die, you don't get the ink back, so it's actually harder if you die once. But due to how Splatoon is, it's really beneficial to have a lot of ink around you, so you can just swim around and dodge.
Yeah.
And move efficiently.
My user strats for this level is that, like, before 8-3 spawns, I try to just ink everything as much as possible.
Yeah, Hydrus is opted for that as well.
Yeah. It's a little desync with the audio, apparently. I'm not sure what's going on. It might just be a stream. But I mean, it sounds like Hydrus is getting through it, no problem.
Looks like we have confirmation from Hydrus. He's gonna play the run out.
Okay.
So his time ended now, or should have ended, but he's apparently gonna let the timer run. But it was a 1:02:07. It looked like.
Okay.
So what? Well, I'm gonna give audio back to Hydrus once he actually gets into the final part of the run. So I'll switch to Oppai audio now. Oppai having an unfortunate death on the laser there.
Yeah.
Also, Hydrus is just gonna have a 6-minute cutscene right now, which
Yeah,
is
so
why we didn't want to have that as a forced part of the run for this tournament.
Yeah.
It's 6 minutes of cutscenes and 3 minutes of auto-scroller. But it's quite fun to watch still, so if the runner feels like it, he's allowed to do it. Slight update from Hydrus, his time was 1:02:05.
Oh, okay. Alright, so 102:05. That's pretty good. Ooh. Okay. Oppai almost hitting the laser beam there, but he's good.
So yeah, Oppai heading into the data point sequence. Let's see if he can make the same cycle as Hydrus does.
Mm-hmm. Oh. A little too far away from equipping the jet.
He probably pressed the A button a tiny bit too early.
Yeah.
He's pre-inking the wall so he can climb up faster after grabbing this data point.
Ooh. Come on, get up there.
Oh, having some unfortunate ink coverage there, just barely not covering the spot he wants to climb up on.
Yeah, he'll probably be just a little bit behind the cycle now, unfortunately. Oop. Okay. Jumped off almost a little bit prematurely.
Oppai having relatively few struggles so far. Oh, getting his armor popped there and being stuck on the wall. That's quite unfortunate with ink coverage again. As previously said, this game doesn't have a lot of heavy RNG, but it's got some... It's got a lot of very tiny RNG that can just add up.
Yeah.
Like ink splatters being kind of random, how bombs splash ink in random directions, some guns have random spreads.
Mm-hmm. Oh no! I think he's got it. Yeah. That jump in particular is fairly forgiving, especially if you miss it.
Oppai looking kind of lost on where to go right now. He's probably not familiar with this mistake.
Yeah. I actually forgot what you have to do here for the cover.
Yeah, I have no clue where you should be going to go efficiently. That works.
Yeah, I think he's got an idea of where to go now.
Yeah, he looks like he's opting for a different route than most.
Oh boy. Come on, Oppai, you got this.
Opting to go back to the starting sequence and follow the path he's used to. It's a good way to get grips of where you are, because this stage can get really confusing when you're flying up and down and all around.
Okay, he did get
getting the wall cling.
Come on.
Oh, not enough ink on the wall again.
There we go. I think he still has one more to get, though. Oh no, two more. I thought he grabbed that one already.
So I'm gonna switch audio back to Hydrus now, as he's gonna do the final part of the actual 90% run, and not just tournament settings.
Okay.
Or maybe not. His stream seems to be a bit choppy right now.
Yeah, I think we might as well just switch back to Oppai for right now.
Yeah, let's go back to him.
You'll be able to see what Hydrus is doing, though. So basically, you have this giant statue that sort of looks like the Statue of Liberty. You have Marina's going to basically throw a bunch of bombs that you have to explode yourself with your splatter shot, and you basically have to cover the entire thing with ink, and you have 3 minutes to do that. And it's pretty much an autoscaler because it's limited to that 3 minutes. You can't go faster, even if you blow up all the bombs before the 3 minute mark. So that's kind of why we didn't bother putting it into the 90% race.
Yeah, it's kind of a relaxing end to the run, though. And this is got really good music.
Yeah, it does. But yeah, it is one of those nice... Like, we really don't want to exclude it completely from the actual 80% runs, because you are still doing something. You still have to do something until the end of the game.
And it can still go very wrong.
Yeah. Oh, no, Oppai. Yeah, if you fall off, it's over. You have to redo it. But yeah, it's completely timed. So like once you finish Agent 3, you can pretty much know exactly what your time is going to be. So it's kind of nice, just having something to relax with.
And if it's a no reset, you will just basically end it on the Agent 3 fight, unless it's a PB.
Yeah, that's true.
You only really have to do it when you're on PB pace. Oppai getting through it quite nicely the second time around. He's on good cycles as well. Yeah, just barely on the right cycle. So one thing we didn't mention when Hydrus was doing this is he's squid bagging quite a lot on this. As he pops in one shot. Also to send it moving.
Oh no.
And then he dives down to get more ink in his tank, so he never runs out, but it still keeps it at max speed the entire time.
Yeah.
But this also leaves you basically no room to kill enemies. Which is why this makes it so much harder.
Yeah, especially this last little bit that he's about to go through. with the missiles and the 2 octocopters. That's like the really bad part.
They're rough.
I think he should be good though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
The last section isn't too hard. You just have to be patient and watch and pay attention to the cycles. If you're confident there, you can also just...
Oh, don't get hit, don't get hit. Oh! Yeah, that's one of those things. Those bowling balls will one-shot the Zapfish if they get touched by it.
Yeah, he's probably not used to this cycle, so after dying once... Oh, and he accidentally sent it a tiny bit too far, straight into the laser. And Hydrus finishing the full run now.
Yep, with a 1:11.14. So that's a pretty good time, actually.
Yeah, that's a solid race time, and as you saw there, Oppai just pushing through the laser because it doesn't deal enough damage, a single one, to pop the orb.
But Oppai getting through it, no problem. Now he has... And he'll... Let's see if... Yeah, let's see. We're trying to see if Hydrus wants to come in for an interview. Now that he's fully done with the 80% run.
Yeah. So, Oppai entering the Agent 3 fight now. And we will be getting Hydrus in here for a quick interview.
Yes.
Once he's popped in here. Hey, Hydrus.
Hey, what's up? Congratulations on the run.
Thank you. I was only like 30 seconds off my PV, and I made
Oh, wow. That's really good.
Yeah,
especially for a race.
Yeah, my escape is pretty solid. It carried me, to be honest. But escape is the part of the run that I practice the most. So I feel like I could, against Tones and Hashed, I might have an edge there.
So, what part of the run are you the most happy with?
Escape and AO5. It was nearly perfect. It was like 0.4 off my goal. That was happy, and overall, I think I was happy with. This is my first race, right? Because the race is different from the general ethos of speedrunning, where you kind of just grind till you get the perfect run. For this, it's whoever's better on average, and you have to, make a backup strats. Like I failed fast climb in phase 5 there, had to make a backup, still made fast cycle, stuff like that. Yeah, and if you make mistakes, you just have to move on. You have to have a good mentality.
What part of the run were you the least happy with?
Bio 4. It was trash. I died
please
actually...
explain the stage instead of
the damageless stage. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. The damageless stage, I made those exact same deaths in my PV. The only difference is the second death I died later. And I barely made the really risky jump there, which saves like less than a second. But I gotta do it for the fans, so I do it for the boys.
Oh yeah.
Keep the dream alive.
Do you have any questions for him, T-Boy, or should I just keep going?
No, you keep going. You've been going on a roll.
So what made you get into this speedrun?
I followed the game since launch. How I got into speedrunning was I played Splatoon 2 ILs.
There we go.
In March
Oppai
2018.
getting a 1:14.49. Please continue now.
Okay. So yeah, I got into Splatoon 2 ILs, which kind of got me into speedrunning after my first break from on ice. I used to play competitive Splatoon, and then I didn't really touch full game categories because I was too afraid to get into them overall. And then when Octo expansion released, I was so excited, and I played it casually the first week. I 100%ed it, and I was like, I want to speedrun this. And I didn't really speedrun it at first, but I created the any % death abuse categories. I routed that originally. And I also created boss rush, and I monitored like the any % world record progression for several months. And then I ran all missions. Like, it's funny because all missions was my first foray into any %. Because in all missions, you basically do any %, then you do the rest of the game. I think my first run was like a 117 something. But that was also because I watched the game in the run for months and months. So I had that little bit of an edge. But yeah, I think practice and mentality are really important for races. And also, a lot of people don't really have splits up because it makes them more nervous. To be honest, some people don't run with splits. But for me, if I have my splits up, it just feels like another run. So just have them up, split in each thing. And we're good. We're good to go.
Some people prefer to run without splits on for races.
Yeah,
so
I know
they don't
Vero
see their
does
pace.
that. Yeah, I know Vero does that for SM64. He runs better without splits. Honestly, it's a runner-by-runner preference. I like them. It shows my pace. Shows how bad I'm doing. So.
Oh, never mind. There you are.
Hi.
How'd it feel for you?
Wow. That was probably my most awful run I've ever done.
Oh, at least you got through it.
Yeah.
I don't want to say like the nerves got to me. Like I knew you were a good runner, but I don't usually let that stuff get to me. But I had,
you gotta focus on yourself for sure.
I had one bad mistake, and I think I just kind of let that affect me throughout the run. I just made every single mistake possible through the rest of the run.
Yeah, I feel like it's more of a domino effect more than anything else.
Yeah, it is.
Because mistakes are, a human product, and more so, it's not even like what mistakes you make, but how you react to them. So that's key for race setting.
What do you feel was the first part of that snowball effect you just mentioned?
Probably. I'm trying to think what I did first. Probably the left 8 ball. And 8 ball is usually the start of it always.
Yeah, 8 ball is all that movement for sure.
That stage can be so rough.
Yeah, BO1's easier because you have to meet a cycle, but CO3 is all that movement.
Yeah, I had like 2 or 3 golds somewhere in there too, like that was like my fastest match master state level I've ever done.
Oh yeah, we were so surprised about your match master stage with the squeezer.
Yeah,
I've never seen someone do it so fast with that weapon.
Yeah, I think Oppai and Aeon are the only people who use squeezer in top 15. So everyone else uses rapid. Even people who don't even run the game anymore, they use rapid. So.
Yeah, I think I just feel more comfortable just grinding that out.
Yeah, you can get a 115-ish with Squeezer if you put in the time. It's a major time save, but it's a very difficult way to learn. It's a completely different weapon for one, and it adds another layer of micromanagement. Because you have to shoot to the sides of certain boxes if it's sparked. It's happening.
Yeah, you also really need to react to what mistakes you do. Like, if you do a slight angle mistake, you might have to do the entire stage differently afterwards.
Yeah, it's not really optimal to get the checkpoint, so gotta do it.
So still a good run, or okay run at least.
So, what got you into speedrunning Octo expansion, and when did you start?
Well, I play Splatoon competitively, so I've always played Splatoon since launch in that way. But I started speedrunning after watching Tones at AGDQ. I feel like that's a common answer.
Yeah, same here.
But yeah, I did like a blind run after watching him. I got like a 140, and then I tried it again after like actually watching through a run. I got it down to like 120 something. Yeah, I did like a couple ILs here and there, but I'm just trying to concentrate on Octo expansion for now.
Awesome.
And 140 is really solid for a blind run, especially for your first one.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think
So
the
do you
worst
have any
blind
more
run I've
questions?
seen was at 215.
I don't have a whole lot, unless you got anything else.
Yeah, I think I'm just about done as well.
Alright.
So, shall we call this it then?
Yeah.
I think so. Again, Hydrus, congratulations on the win. Oppai, awesome run. Best of luck to you and for the.
Thanks for the race.
It's double elimination, so you're still in, no problem.
Good job.
Isaiah, thank you for commentating with me.
Same to you, T-Boy.
And yeah, I guess we'll finish it up. So everyone for watching, thank y'all, and we'll see y'all later.
Yeah,
See ya.
thank you.